Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Village. Village is a 2 to 4 player game. If you get the expansion, it can go up to 5 players. That was out in 2011. I know that's old, but it's just been re-released late last year. So that's what I'm talking about at the moment. It's a re-release of a game. Village is a worker placement game with a huge difference. The concept behind the game is that you're a family in a village and you're working through generations, and at certain points members of your family are going to die, and when they die they will either go into the village chronicle, which will potentially give you points at the end of the game, or they'll go into the unmarked graves and the forgotten graveyard. It gives you a real sense of power over your people, over your meeples, and you have to make a choice of when to kill off your meeples in order to get the best benefit out of it. So you need to make sure you've got your guys out on various spots working, and once they're working there, they'll stay there and give you benefit from those spots every time that they're there, or at least you won't have to pay the cost to get them there again. But at some point you're going to want to kill them off before the space in the village chronicle fills up, because there's only so many people or meeples that are able to take areas in the village chronicle from each work area. So if you see a work area filling up in that village chronicle, you're going to want to kill off that guy fairly quickly so you don't miss out on getting him into the village chronicle, which is where the points are at the end of the game. Each of your meeples have numbers on them, and so you have to kill off your oldest generation first, so the number 1 generation, which is your starting generation. And once they're all gone from your board, you go on to the number 2 generation, and so on and so on. It creates a real thinky element, because the majority of the currency of this game is time. Whenever you do something, it's going to cost you time, and there's a little tracker on your own board that you're moving around, and when you pass over the bridge, which is at the top of the tracker, you must kill off one of your meeples, and that's where you make the decision, oh, which one am I going to kill off into which spot. It also means that you're making decisions about how much time you want to spend. Do I want my meeple to be on that space longer, and so I'm going to do things that are going to cost less time, or do I want to actually fast track that time so that I can kill one of these guys off and get them into the village chronicle quicker? Oh man, that's a big decision to make. All the way through the game there's these big decisions. The other element with this game that's super different and to majority of the other worker placement games is that resource cubes aren't resource cubes. There are resource cubes, but they're not resource cubes, they're influence cubes. Now I know that sounds like a really minor detail, and that's fine, it is a minor detail. And so you spend influence to get things to happen. You need to grab influence in to be able to spend it to get things to happen. The way that the game plays is we have a bag, we have a whole bunch of influence cubes, and there's a whole bunch of black cubes in there as well, and you pull out a certain number. There's a card that tells you how many to pull out and put into each various spot, and we select the area to work in by taking one of those influence cubes. Once all the influence cubes are gone, we're no longer able to go there. It kind of works the same as, I'm going to put my meeple there, no one else can use it, except it opens it up for many more people to be able to use it, and for you to not have to have the people to actually use it. You have the influence to use it, or you get influence by using it, should I say. Whenever you take one of the black cubes, that's like the Black Plague, so it costs you 2 time and pushes you closer to one of your guys passing away. That makes your decision process a lot more tricky, because if you're looking at a space that has 1 black influence cube left on it, and you really want to do that thing, you then need to make the decision, do I want to spend the extra time to be able to do that at the moment, or do I want to go over here where there's an actual influence cube? I don't necessarily need to do what's on that space, but I kind of, it's not a bad thing to do. But I'll get that influence cube by going there, and once I've got that influence cube, that will give me this set of influence cubes, this set of colours that I need to be able to do that thing that I want to do at another time. So there's a lot of decisions as to where to go and when to go there. And also you've obviously you're thinking, what's everyone else going to do? What does everyone else want to do? So that I don't miss out on this spot because that person also wants to go there. If I've got the chance to get it first, I should get it. And it's a similar thought process to other worker placement games and resource management games, but it's still different, and I like different. Different is good. It's found a way to manipulate that worker placement game away from there's this many spots and I can put a meeple on one of the spots and stop anyone else from taking the spot. yes, there's this many cubes, and I can take a cube and stop anyone else from getting a cube, but one of those cubes might be a bad thing. But I'm choosing to take the bad thing, and that bad thing, it might actually be a good thing for me because it'll push my time across the bridge so I can kill this guy before it does people's heads in. It's great. There's so much to think about. I love it. I really love it. There are 2 expansions available for this game that have been re-released. Apparently they were really, really hard to find in the original version. Once again, as with all the other games, I haven't yet played with them except for having the 5th player involved in the base game. I really want to get my teeth into the base game before I get onto expansions. I want the players around me to have played with the base game before I get onto expansions. But everything I've read seems to be saying that the port expansion is one of those expansions that people won't play without once they play with it. So I'm looking forward to getting that to the table. Village is an awesome game. It's deserved to have a reprint. If you don't have a copy of Village or you haven't played Village before, I heavily suggest getting your hands on it, have a play of it. There's a reason it got reprinted. It's because it's one that people really want and really want to get into. The rules manual on Village is easy to get through. It gives you the basic overview of the game and then runs through each of the various worker placement spaces and what you can do on them. There's one other element in there which is called the mass, which happens at the end of every round. And look, I'll go into all that stuff in the next 2 videos, so you can really get a feel for what the rules are about and what's in the rules. So please go on and watch those videos. Watch the Gamesplayed video as well, so you can get a good grasp of it. Of course, obviously, with every game, we understand them once we play them. Or if you just see it played, once you've seen the rules, you've seen it played, you'll get a better grasp of the game and you'll kind of know what angles to take as you hit the game for the first time. So I will leave it there. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplained, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see what games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm Gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.